One of those critical questions that I hear all the time from dentists: how much should I be spending on marketing? Marketing can feel a bit like gambling if you don't know quite what you're doing. Just tossing money out there and hoping something sticks. But the truth is, successful dental practices and orthodontic practices don't rely on guesswork. They've cracked the code by setting a smart and strategic marketing budget. And today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how you can do the same thing. We're going to talk about some industry benchmarks. I'm going to show you how to calculate a marketing budget that really aligns perfectly with your growth goals. And I'll even share some tips on how to squeeze every last bit of ROI out of those marketing dollars. So in short, the real question isn't whether you should have a marketing budget. The question is, how do you create one that helps you achieve your specific goals? Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the No BS Dental Growth Podcast. I am your host, Chris Pistorius, and today we are going to tackle one of those critical questions that I hear all the time from dentists. How much should I be spending on marketing? You know, marketing can feel a bit like gambling if you don't know quite what you're doing. Just tossing money out there and hoping something sticks. But the truth is, successful dental practices and orthodontic practices don't rely on guesswork. They've cracked the code by setting a smart and strategic marketing budget. And today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how you can do the same thing. So we're going to talk about some industry benchmarks. I'm going to show you how to calculate a marketing budget that really aligns perfectly with your growth goals. And I'll even share some tips on how to squeeze every last bit of ROI out of those marketing dollars. Now, trust me, you're not going to want to miss this. This is no fluff, right to the point. So grab a coffee, take some notes, and let's dive in. Now, if you're like most dentists, you're great at what you do clinically. You can perform complex procedures, you care deeply about your patients, and you run your practice efficiently. But when it comes to marketing, let's face it, it can feel a little bit overwhelming. There's a lot of options. So marketing is often viewed as this mysterious black box where you throw some money in and hopefully new patients come out on the other side. But here's the truth. Marketing doesn't need to feel like gambling. In fact, when it's done right, it should be very predictable, measurable, and repeatable. But here's the issue I see time and time again. Many of you dental practices don't have a clear marketing budget at all. You're just kind of reacting, knee-jerk reacting, spending a little here and a little there, maybe responding to a cold email from a random marketing company, promising you the moon. If that sounds familiar, if it does, then you're not alone. And the problem is, though, you're not really steering your own ship. Instead, you're being pulled in a lot of different directions, really unsure if your money is even working. And what's worse, without a marketing budget, you have no clear way of really tracking what's effective or where your patients are actually coming from. So essentially, you're flying blind. Not a great feeling. Not only is this stressful, but it's also incredibly inefficient. You're probably wasting money on tactics that aren't paying off while possibly ignoring some of the most profitable avenues available. Now, having a well-defined marketing budget really changes all of that. It does two very important things. First, it puts you back in control. With a budget, you know exactly where your money is going and what it's supposed to achieve. Secondly, it provides clarity. You can track each dollar, evaluate what's working, and stop guessing. Instead of hoping for results, you'll actually see them clearly. Now remember, marketing isn't an expense. It really isn't. It's an investment in your practice. Think of it this way. You wouldn't open a dental office without investing in the best equipment, right? You buy quality instruments, cutting-edge technology, and comfortable patient chairs because they directly impact your patient care and profitability, right? Marketing is exactly the same. It's that same sort of an investment in bringing those patients into those expensive chairs and keeping them coming back. So in short, the real question isn't whether you should have a marketing budget. The question is, how do you create one that helps you achieve your specific goals? So that's exactly what we're going to dive into next. And we're going to talk about industry benchmarks, practical methods for setting your budget, and how to adapt it to your practice's unique circumstances. So we have established that having a marketing budget is essential. No surprises there. But now comes the next big question. How much exactly should you be spending? This is where industry benchmarks can really help you out. But let's pause right here for just a second. I want to make something super clear. These benchmarks are not just, benchmarks are guidelines, not hard and fast rules. Your specific budget will vary depending on your practice's unique goals, your location, and how competitive your market is. They definitely is a great starting point. And generally speaking, established dental practices should be investing between 3 and 7% of their annual revenue in marketing. Let me repeat that, 3 to 7%. So if your practice is doing around $1 million a year, that means your marketing spend should fall somewhere between $30,000 and $70,000 annually. But hold on, if you're a newer practice or if you're really pushing aggressively for growth, those numbers are going to change a little bit. New practices or practices trying to really dominate their market quickly often need to spend quite a bit more, especially in the beginning. Typically around 20 to even 30% of your projected revenue during the first year or two. This might sound steep, I get it, but early investments are critical for building brand recognition, establishing a patient base, and competing effectively. Now, on the other hand, if your practice is mature and you're mostly interested in steady and consistent growth, you might stick closer to that 3 to 5% range. But again, these aren't set in stone numbers. Your practice might benefit from leaning a bit more aggressively into marketing if you face heavy competition, especially from corporate dentistry, or if you're aiming to really do significant growth over the next 12 months. Now, here's a quick example to make this crystal clear. Let's say that you set a goal to add 20 new patients per month. Very reasonable. You know your average revenue per patient, which you should, and you can work backward to figure out how much you need to spend in marketing to reach that target. So if you're aiming higher, naturally, you'll need to increase your investment to meet those higher goals. Another factor to consider is your specific market condition. Let's face it, if you're located in a highly competitive city or suburb, you might need to invest more to break through the noise and get noticed. If you're in a smaller town or less competitive area, you might find your dollars stretch further, meaning you can spend slightly or even significantly less and still see great results. So here's the takeaway from this segment. Start with these industry benchmarks, but always adjust based on your specific situation, your goals, your competition, and your current growth stage. All right, now we've covered why marketing matters and looked at benchmarks, but having a number isn't enough. You've got to spend that money effectively. So exactly how do you do that? Let's talk strategy. Your marketing budget is not something you just throw randomly at ads or campaigns, hoping for the best. You've got to be thoughtful, intentional, and precise. Now, here's the good news. There are a few core channels in dental marketing that consistently deliver solid returns when used correctly. Let's break down a few key areas you should consider. First off, digital marketing, specifically Google and social media ads. Google ads are very powerful because you're targeting patients who are actively searching for dental services. They have their credit card in hand and they're ready to buy. I mean, think about it. Somebody types in best dentist near me into Google and boom, your practice appears right there in front of them. That's direct and powerful. Social media ads on Facebook or Instagram, they also offer massive potential, especially for reaching targeted demographics like families, parents, specific neighborhoods, or even specific age groups that match your ideal patient profile. It's more affordable than Google. It's highly customizable and can yield great results if you do it correctly. Next up is search engine optimization, or SEO. I'm sure you've heard of this. It helps you rank organically, the non-paid section of Google, meaning you're not directly paying per click with ads, but you are investing in consistently showing up when people search dental-related keywords. SEO tends to build momentum over time. It's a longer process, and it's an excellent long-term strategy. It's not immediate by any means, but it is incredibly valuable because the results compound over time, continually driving new patient opportunities without additional per-click costs. Third, don't underestimate the power of a great website. Think of your website as your virtual front door. Your site needs to load fast, look professional, and clearly communicate your unique value to potential patients. It's really where most prospective patients go first. So invest in a high-quality website that's mobile-friendly, easy to navigate, don't overthink it, and optimized for conversions. Honestly, a bad website can sink even the best marketing efforts. So don't cut corners here. And lastly, local engagement and community marketing. Being visible in your community still matters, and it matters a lot. Sponsoring a local event, school programs, or community initiatives positions your practice as a trusted, active member of your community. Patients choose dentists based heavily on trust and comfort, and nothing builds those factors like authentic local involvement. Now, here's an important tip. Prioritize your spending based on your ideal patient demographic. If your ideal patients are mostly younger professionals, digital advertising and SEO should take center stage. But if you cater heavily to families or retirees, local community involvement and even direct mail could even yield significant returns if done the right way. And always track and measure the effectiveness of each channel. This helps you make informed decisions moving forward. Use call tracking, analytics tools, and patient intake forms to see exactly where new patients are coming from. This will tell you really what's working so that you can shift your budget towards strategies delivering the best results. So the bottom line here, it's just all about measurement. What gets measured gets done. Invest in the channels that make sense for your target audience, optimize continuously, and keep your eyes on those numbers. Okay, so we've laid out some key strategies for setting your marketing budget and allocating those dollars effectively. But now let's talk about something equally important: the mistakes I see dentists making all the time. Trust me, knowing these pitfalls in advance can save you not only money, but a ton of headaches. So let's get to it. Pitfall number 1, expecting immediate results. Guys, here's the reality. Marketing, especially digital strategies like SEO or content marketing, usually does not deliver instant miracles. Sure, some tactics like Google ads, Facebook ads can bring patients through your door pretty darn quickly, but many others like that SEO, branding, community outreach, they take some time to really kick in. So give your strategies room to breathe and grow. Typically, you need at least 3 to 6 months to accurately gauge effectiveness. Jumping ship too early can waste all that initial investment and leave you spinning your wheels. Pitfall number 2, not tracking results properly. This one drives me a little bit nuts because it's so avoidable. If you don't measure your results, you're flying blind. You're throwing money at walls, right? You have no idea which tactics, if any, are working or which ones to cut loose. Using call tracking software like CallRail and analytics tools such as Google Analytics or our own Ignite platform can provide insights into what's driving new patient calls and appointments. Now remember, knowledge is power. The more detailed you're tracking, the smarter you're going to be with your budget. Pitfall number 3, trying to market to everybody at the same time. You've probably heard the saying, if you market to everyone, you're marketing to no one. And it's absolutely true. It took me a while to figure that one out too, but you need clarity on who your ideal patients are and then laser focus your marketing on them. Now, if your messaging is too generic, your budget gets diluted and you end up losing patients who would otherwise resonate with a clearer, more targeted message. So take the time to define who you're trying to reach and tailor your messaging accordingly. Pitfall number 4, ignoring the patient experience after the initial call or inquiry. Sounds crazy, but marketing gets the patient to your door, but what happens next is crucial. Too many practices pour resources into generating leads, but then drop the ball at the front desk. Make sure your staff is well trained, responsive, and welcoming. Consider tools like our Patient Line AI or Smart Follow technologies that we offer here at Kickstart. That helps ensure that no lead slips through the cracks. Avoiding these common pitfalls does not have to be hard. It just takes awareness, a bit of discipline, and a willingness to adjust and adapt. Marketing is dynamic. It's always changing, and the practices that consistently thrive are the ones that stay agile and alert. Okay, so next up, we're bringing it home with actionable tips and practical steps that you can put into play immediately. Take action today type stuff. Stick around. You're going to definitely want to take notes on this one because I have some assignments for you. Okay, so we're coming down to the home stretch here. So let's tie everything together with some clear, actionable steps that you can implement today. If you're driving, exercising, or multitasking, don't worry. You can always replay this part later or just jot down some things and look them over when you have a minute. So number one, let's audit your current marketing spend. Look at exactly where all your money's going. For some of you, it may be easy because you're not doing any marketing. But for those that are, identify what's working well and what's not, and what might be falling through the cracks. Get honest here. Clarity is your best friend. Number two, set clear, specific marketing goals. Are you looking for 10 new patients a month or 50? Are you aiming to boost your practice visibility, dominate local searches, or become known for specialized treatments like Invisalign or implants? Now be specific here, because clear goals drive clear budgets. Number three, choose the right budgeting method for you. You might prefer the simple percentage of revenue approach, or maybe you want to use goal-based budgeting to precisely match your spend with your growth objectives. Just pick a method and stick to it for at least 6 months to accurately measure your success. Number four, invest intentionally in proven channels. Digital ads, SEO, a strong website, and local community engagement are your bread and butter channels. Focus there first, track your results meticulously, and then scale up what works best. And then finally, number five, regularly review and adjust. Set monthly or quarterly check-ins to evaluate your results. Marketing is dynamic, so stay agile and ready to pivot as needed. And remember, at Kickstart Dental Marketing, we live and breathe this stuff. It's what we've done for 16 years. If you're feeling a little overwhelmed or simply need a hand getting clear about your marketing strategy, you know where to find us. Website's kickstartdental.com. So thanks so much for joining me on this episode of the No BS Dental Growth Podcast. If you found this episode valuable, please make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share at least some of this with someone else who might need it. And until next time, I'm Chris Pistorius. Here's to growing your practice smarter, not harder.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Dental Marketing Podcast. Make sure to visit our website, www.kickstartdental.com/podcast, where you can subscribe to the show in iTunes, Spotify, or via RSS, so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in the show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. If you are ready to grow your practice, then you might want to schedule a free strategy session with us. Just go to kickstartdental.com and click the free strategy session button and give us 15 minutes of your time to change your practice forever. Be sure to tune in next week for our next episode. And thanks for listening to the Dental Marketing Podcast by Kickstart Dental Marketing, where dentists go to win online.